Hello everyone, this is the Knowledge Cube and I am Ashwin here. I will start posting regularly now as I have now more free time now. So how are you people doing? I'm doing great. It has been a long time since I posted and it would be nice if I did a Python tutorial. So I'm planning to cover a lot of stuff in this video. So I hope you like the video. We are going to be learning a lot of new stuff today. So without just talking, let's just jump into the video. So we will be now looking at if, else, elif, and all the statements, conditional statements to be exact. So let's say you're walking into a grocery shop and you have sugar. You need to buy sugar and your budget is $5. So let's just say you have two companies. So company 1 sugar, I'll just say company 1 sugar, and here let's just define the price. The price is $6, and let's just yes, I do spelling mistakes all the time. It's my nature. And then we have company underscore 2 sugar. Company 2 underscore sugar. And this is $4. So we have two companies. So let's just create another variable called your budget for the sugar, and it will be $5. So let's just say you have a condition. So it should be the price of the sugar. So the price of the sugar should be greater than or equal, smaller than or equal to your budget. So if any sugar is smaller than or equal to your budget, we will just buy that sugar, right? Whichever sugar is in our budget, we'll buy that sugar. And let's say another sugar is cheaper than this sugar. One sugar is out of our budget, one sugar is in our budget, then we have to buy the sugar which is in our budget. So that's how it works. So now we will declare the condition if our budget is lesser than or equal, lesser than, or I'll just say company underscore 1 sugar is lesser than or equal to our budget. If it is lesser than or equal to our budget, we will just say print, we'll just buy sugar 1. Or let's say company 2 sugar is in your budget. Then what we can do is else you have to print sugar, buy sugar 2. So let me just explain all these statements. So if the company 1 sugar is lesser than or equal to our budget, what we do is we buy sugar 1, right? Or else if the company 1 sugar is not in our budget, we'll just buy sugar 2. But let's say both sugars are not in your budget. Let's just say, for example, company 2 sugar becomes $8 instead, and your budget is $5. So if company 1 sugar, okay, let's just keep this statement. But now we need to check this company 2 sugar to see if it is on budget. We have to check it explicitly because we have just put if the if statement, if it works, if the sugar 1 is lower than your budget, you have to buy sugar 1. It's like we are doing like that. If company 1 sugar is lesser than or equal to your budget, you have to buy sugar 1. Then else. So let's say you are in really huge projects. You have tons of sugar, and let's just say the sugar is out of stock. It's not in your budget, something like that. For that, we'll just use elif, and then we'll just say company underscore 2 sugar is lesser than or equal to your budget. And then we'll just say print buy sugar 2. and then we'll declare the else statement. So or else, if the sugar is not in your budget, if the sugar is out of stock, if the sugar anything, I just say print for just an example. I just say print none of the sugar is in your budget. None of the sugar is in your budget. So if I'll just quickly explain what this all means again. So we are checking company 1 sugar. If it is in our budget, if it is, buy sugar 1. If it is not in, if company 1 sugar is not in our budget, if company 2 sugar is in our budget, we have to buy sugar 2. And else, if like out of stock, sugar not in your budget, any other stuff, none of the sugar is in your budget. That's it, simple as that. Okay, so when I run this, I'll just run it over here. None of the sugar is in your budget. It is the correct output because our budget is $5, company 2 sugar costs $8, and this costs $6. So none of the sugar is in your budget actually, right? So that was great. And you can even change this to 10 and run that. Still nothing will happen, I guess. Yeah, nothing will happen. And if we change this company 1 sugar to $3, now run it, it says buy sugar 1. Amazing statement. Okay, so if elif else is just like the core to learning programming, because if we learn all those, because they are the core fundamentals, because you'll have multiple if, multiple elif, multiple else, you have to use it almost everywhere in your code. So that is why it is so important. So now let's just talk about modules. So modules help us accomplish a task a lot easier. So let's say you are building out a GUI app. So you don't want to just code your GUI app like you want it to do like this, you want it to do like that. It will be tons and tons of lines of code, tons of Google searches, everything will be there. But here is a solution. You don't need to write the framework itself. If you don't know what framework is used to build an application. You don't need to build a framework for yourself and then do the application. We already have a framework. If you don't understand what I mean, let's say we want to draw, like let's just say a straight line. I can just so there is a module which is called as turtle. So you have to import turtle. Import means you have tons of libraries in there. You have to bring this turtle library, and you can just say turtle dot. So whatever module we have, you have to just say turtle dot forward dot back dot something like that. As for now, let's just say forward, and it will move by 100 pixels. So the argument here is pixels. And let's just run it and see if it actually draws our line. Oh, were you able to see that line? It went up so fast. We even have another solution for that too. We can import the time module, and we can just go down, and then we can just say time dot sleep, and you have to just pass in the amount of time, amount of seconds you want the program to just the graphical arrow to display. How long should it display? Well, for now I'll just say 5 seconds. Okay, and when I run that, so it stays on for a while, for like 5 seconds, that arrow, and it goes off. So this is a lot easier if you had modules. But let's say you don't have modules. You have to do everything by yourself. You see this import to your turtle, import time. You have to thank your fellow developers for creating those modules for you. So they were the ones who create the modules, and they let it open source and let anyone use it to build their application. So modules are amazing. You can do anything with modules. So I guess that is of if, elif, else, modules, and all the stuff. Now let's talk about file handling. So file handling, let's say with a Python program you want to write a file, like let's just say when I right click, you see all this stuff, right? So this is all available in one registry file. So you can just add your own custom right click menu, like you can just say paste, and you have all this stuff, right? I can even add open code online, which is just my program. I don't need to even edit stuff. I don't need to edit the core system files. I can just do it with my code. I'll show you how to write to a file, read a file, delete a file, and detect a file in this video. And then later on you'll just copy files and all the stuff. It's gonna be awesome. So let's just first open a file. I'll just say file equal to open. You have to say use the open method to open files. So we can just pass in any type of file you want. But wait, we don't have a text file yet. You don't have any other file except our main program. We should not write in our main program, or else we'll get a lot of errors, right? Don't worry, Python is really advanced. I mean, you have this file equal to open, all of this stuff, right? I can just pass in the file name. Let's just say text.txt. Well, it creates a file for you, and then it writes whatever you want to the file. So just open that. Now, since we have stated the file name, now we have to state why we are opening the file. Do we want to read the file? Do we have to write the file? Do we want to append some info? I'll just explain what append is later on. Do you want to append to a file? But in this case, we're writing to a file. We can just say W. That's it, simple. And then we can just say file dot write, and then in here you can just write whatever you want. This is a program to write stuff to text files in Python. Yeah, that should do it. And for best practice, you can always close a file, because when you leave that file open, it may cause a lot of errors to your system. I'll just say file.close to close the file. And now when I run it, let's run that. Is everything up? Yeah. So now, if you have not noticed yet, we have another file called text.txt. And when we go here, we can just see this is a program to write stuff to text files in Python. So the same thing we wanted it to write. It's amazing. It got appeared in the text file. So that's great. We can just write to files with Python. We can do anything. Well, next one is, let's just say you want to read some data from a file. That's simple. You can just say, let's just close that, and then we'll just say you're opening it for reading. So that's an R. R is for reading, and we can just say file dot read. And in here we can just pass it. We don't need to even pass in everything, but we need to store this in a variable so that we can put it on later. I'll just say data equal to file dot read. So all the contents in the file will be saved to the variable which is data. It will be saved to data, and then when we just print out whatever data has, we'll get the contents already there in the file. And always, for best practice, you always close the file. Yeah, that's great. And if I run this, you get the same text which is in the file. That's great. Now we have seen writing files, reading files, all this stuff. But let's say you want to detect files. You are building an application, and let's say you have a file already like that. You have to ask the user, excuse me, do you want to reinstall this program? Do you want to if this file already exists, what do you want to do with it? This file doesn't exist, what do you want to create a new file? It's like that. Okay, so you have a different thing to detect directories or folders. We have different way to detect if there is files in the system. So I can just say path equal to, and in here we can just pass in, like the file you want to detect. I'll just go over here to my desktop, and I'll just go to, I'm just searching for a file to see if this exists. I could I just want to open, I just want to see if the sample file exists. You can just go to properties and maybe you're not properties, you can just right click here, and in here we had to just say C and users, and this is my own computer. Here nothing can be there. They can be ASHWI like Ashwin, or there could be even your name, who knows. I'll just say Ashwi. I don't even know why Microsoft has such a small name for this. And in here we can just go to the documents folder and we can open up sample file. Sample file.txt. Now we got the whole path, and when I click copy, and let's go head back over to our code. I'll just minimize that, and I'll just paste that in here. Oh, I'll make it a string, sorry for that. Let's make it into string. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, you need double slashes. Since this is a path, you need double slashes, because you see these can also be passed as an argument in Python. Let's just say slash we have slash 9.txt slash and slash plus the first character of 9, which is n, slash n means new line. We all know that. But if we just leave it like that, it'll just print sample 9 in a new INE in a new line, not 9. So we had to include double slashes for paths, okay, file paths, like file directory paths. Yeah. I don't even know how to pronounce it. And now our trusty ifs. Oh, we also need to import a module. We need to import the OS module. Okay, import OS. Yeah, that's good. That sounds good. And in here we can just say if os.path dot exists, not exists, it's actually is file, and then in here we'll just pass in the path variable, or you can even pass it as a parameter, like path equal to this, path equal to that. You can even pass it on like that. If os.path.is file, if it is a file, I'll just say print it is a file. So if the path I passed in, if it redirects to a file, I have to print it is a file. But let's say it is a directory. Let's just say if os.path.isdir, and in here we can just say path. If it is a directory, let us say print it is a directory. Directory also means folder. Yeah, they all have the same names. And when I run this thing, I'll just run it over here, it says it's a file, and it surely is a file. Great, we have got what we wanted, and we can just do that. If you want to build a more advanced program like this, I have one really good thing for you. Now I'm going to be, I forgot to teach you one thing. Yeah, some multiple import statements. I'm so sorry I didn't teach you that. We can just let's just say import turtle, like the one we did right now. But let's say you're just tired of saying turtle.forward, turtle.right, turtle.straight. We're just tired of it. You can just say from turtle, which is a module, we can import. In here you can pass in like a specific keyword such as forward. You want to include the forward function, and then we can just say forward 100. We don't need to say turtle dot forward. And when I run this, Control S, and I will run that. Yeah, so this. But did you see the arrow? If you have saw the arrow, it went front, even though we didn't say turtle dot forward. But let's just let's just try it saying turtle dot forward. Let's just try it, okay? Yeah, we got an error. Yeah. And when I run it, yeah, name turtle's not defined. So when you do that, you get an error. But let's just say you're fine with it, but you don't want to call turtle. We have a solution. We can just say import turtle as, we can just say t, and we can just say t dot forward and 100. And when I run it, it goes forward and it quits instantly. Yeah, we can just do that. And let's just try turtle dot forward. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Okay, so that looks good. So that is it for today's that is it for today's video. I hope you liked it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps me out a lot. And the next video will be coming out really soon. Bye.